Hello friends, Tony here. In this video I'm going to create a dependent dropdown with Livewire version 3. I had a comment in YouTube channel and I'm going to create that. I think I have created something similar with the version 2, but let's create this with Livewire version 3 for that comment. And I have prepared a project. As you can see here, I am logged in. Also, let's open the VS Code, and I have created the models and migrations for the country, and here we have the model, also the state model and the city model. And let's see also the migrations. Let's go database migrations, and here we have the countries with a string code name and integer font code, and the states and also the city. Okay, then I have created also seeders, and I have copied them from the GitHub repository, so you can search for Laravel countries, state and cities seeders. So here is the country seeder, okay, the state and the city seeder. So you can copy from there, add here, and then on the database seeder we call this country seeder, state seeder and city seeder. So if I open now the database, so I'm going to open the table class and see the Laravel here. We have countries, we have states, and we have cities in our database. Okay. Now I'm going to create a Livewire component, and I'm going to add it right here when you are logged in, and then implement the dependent dropdown. When we select the country, we are going to, based on that selected country, we're going to get all the states belong to that country, and the same for the cities. When we select a state, we're going to get all the cities belong to that state. So first of all, let's create the component. So here in the terminal, I'm going to say artisan or PHP artisan make Livewire, because it's a Livewire component, and the name, which I'm going to name it a dependent dropdown. Okay, hit enter. Now the component created, and as I told you, I want to add it here. So just let's open the dashboard, and here I'm going to add that one. So let's say Livewire colon and the name of the component, which is dependent dash dropdown, and self-close that, save. I'm going to close this, and let's open the component now, the dependent dropdown, and here just let's add a heads one for now and say add some classes. So I'm going to say text to be 2XL, also let's say text to be Indigo 700, and font I'm going to say to be semi-bold like this, and let's say Livewire example. Okay, now if I refresh, yeah, we have Livewire example here, but instead of this we need to have a drop down, a select input. For that I'm going to add a div with a class to be margin top of 3, and in here I'm going to paste that select just to save some time. So close this one first. Okay, so I added a label for the country with some classes and same country here, another div with class margin top 2, and then a select, and here we have an option selected to choose country. Here we have some classes for the select, and if I open now the browser and refresh, yeah, here we have the select, so choose country. First of all, let's add on the parent div, I'm going to add a class to say max with to be MD and MX auto. Save, come here and refresh. Yeah, and let's run also the npm run dev. Okay, good. Now we want to have the countries when this is mounted, this component is mounted. I want to have all the countries and select one of them. For that, if I open the Livewire documentation, we have here lifecycle hooks, and you can read more about that. But what I want to show you is the mount method, and this is going to call when a component is created. This is what we want. So when this is created, I want to get all the countries and then render here, and we can choose one of them. For that, let's open first the dependent class. And here, I'm going to create 3 public properties, one for countries. And yeah, we need to say public first. Okay, and let's copy and paste these 3 times. So public countries, this is going to be for the states. And this is going to be for the cities. Okay, now as I told you, let's create the mount method. And on that mount, I'm going to initialize the countries property with all the counts. So let's say method here, mount method, and what we want here, just say $, these countries to be equal with, and I'm going to use the country model, not count, but country model, and I'm going to use the all to get all the countries. Okay, now we get all the countries. What we can do in scope, come here and let's make a for each. So for each $, countries as country, and here add an option, add the value. The value now is going to be the ID of the country. So let's add $country ID, and we're going to display the country name here, and close the option, and let's save. Come here and refresh. Now if I select here, yeah, we have all the countries and we can select on. But when we select, I want to get all the states belong to this country. And first of all, let's copy this, and I'm going to create one for the state. So let's say state here, and also state here, and choose state, and instead of countries we can say state. So states as $, single state, and then add the state ID and the state name. But this one we're going to check if we have states, because when we initialized we don't have the state. So we can say if $states, paste that in, and if. Okay, now if I come here and refresh, yeah, we have only choose state, and we can choose a country. And when you choose a country, I want to update the states. And just for now, let's copy and add also for the cities. So now let's say select a city here, and if we have cities, we are going to make a for each cities as a city. Let's copy this and paste it here, here, and here, and refresh. Why I have make a typo here. So let's save and refresh. Yeah, we have country, state, and city, and we have only the countries here, but the state, not state and not city. Now let's open again the Livewire lifecycle books, and what I want to show you is the updated. So let's go to updated. We have the updated, but also we have the updated. Okay, below is an example of using updated to ensure a property's value stays consistent. So anytime the username property is updated client side, we will ensure that the value will always be lowercase. Okay, so here we have public function updated method and passing the property, and we check if the property is username, because here we have username and email properties. We're going to say this username to be string to lowercase, this username. Okay, but also because you are often targeting a specific property when using update hooks, Livewire allow you to specify the property name directly as part of the method name. So instead of saying updated, passing the property and check if the property is username, we can say public function updated and passing the property name here, username. Okay, and let's do that. Let's open the class, and here first I'm going to create a property and I'm going to name it $, selected country, which is going to be equal with, initially is going to be null, and this one we are going to add when we select the country. So here we can say wire model to be equal with selected country. But if I do something like this, and let's create that method first. Let's say here after the mount method, I'm going to say so method with a name updated and passing the name of the property, which is selected country, like this. And for now I'm going to say just die and dump, and let's say okay or something like this, just to see that is selected. So when we select a country, we're going to change the selected country, and then it's going to call the updated selected country, which is going to say die and dump okay. Let's see if I come here and refresh. Let's choose one, and nothing is changed because we need to say here wire model dot live, and then it's going to call to make a request for the selected country, because if we don't add live, it's going to make a request only when we hit a button to update the form or something similar. So now because we added live and I refresh, now if I select a country, now we have okay, die and dump, and now we can do what we want in this method. And what we want is to get all the states belong to that country, so we can get the country ID here. So we can say $, country here, and say $, country here. So let's save and let's come here and refresh. And now if I say Albania here, yeah, we have the ID of that country, which is true. And then what we can say is to say $, this states. Now we can say this states to be equal with state model, not all, but we can say where the country ID, because the state belongs to the country. So country ID is this country, which is the ID of the country we saw. And let's use get here. And if I save now, so when this is selected, we're going to say this states to be equal with states where something, and it's going to populate the states. So let's see, let's refresh, choose Afghanistan here. Now, as you can see, we have all of the states belong to Afghanistan. If I choose UK or United Kingdom, we can see we have London and all of Manchester and all of the states belong to the United Kingdom. Okay, now the same thing we want with the state. For that we are going to create a new, so let's copy this and paste, and a new property name selected state, which is going to be null initially. And also the same thing we can create for the state. So let's create a new method saying updated selected state, not country here but state we can say. And what we want here is to update the cities, so we can say $this cities to be equal with the city model. Okay, make sure you import that. Where state ID, because the city belongs to state, so we can say where state ID equal with $state and get. Now if I save, come here and refresh, choose a country, I'm going to choose Albania here, and we have all the states belong to this country. We can choose, so let's choose Tehran here, and now why is not working? So we have updated, because we need to say also we need to add the wire model live on the selected state and say selected state here. And let's save. I come here and refresh one more time. Let's say Albania, Tehran, and I have a typo there. So where is cities? Yeah, is here. Let's save and refresh. So Albania. Let's choose this one, and now we have the cities belong to this state. Okay, good. Now we can go further and we can hide the state and the city select input and show only when we select the country. Okay, so let's go to class, and based if this selected country is not null, we are going to show the state, and if the selected state is not null, we are going to show the cities. Okay, so let's, and with that we can remove this if, because if we have the selected state, it means this is going to call and the cities is going to populate it. Okay, so here now I'm going to cut this and say if it's not null, so the $sign selected state, we are going to paste that in and say and if here, and the same thing. So let's copy this and if first and paste it here, and copy if statement for the state. Here we're going to say if the selected country is not empty, so it's not null, because if this is not null, it means we are going to call this updated selected country, and then we are going to populate the states with the state where country ID is something like this. So, and here we're going to check if it's not null, display, otherwise we're going to hide. Let's see. Selected not country here, typo, and yeah, we have only the country. Now when we select the country, it's going to show the state, and when we select the state, it's going to show the city, and then we have everything we want. This is how we can create a dependent dropdown with Livewire version 3. Now we can go further. So if I select country, yeah, now we have choose state and choose city here, and we have this city